I got into acting. Well, I always performed for my grandmother at Sunday dinners and stuff. And there was this open casting call for Beauty and the Beast on stage. So my mom said, "Do you want to go to this?" And I said, "Yeah." And so I went in and did "When the Saints Go Marching In," and it was for the part of Chip, and you had to sit in a tea trolley, and I was too big for that. But they recommended me to an agent, and then I started auditioning, and now I'm sitting beside Ashley Leggat.
I think it would be so funny to see you as Chip.
They do the mirror thing with the face.
I started dancing when I was 2.5 at Baby Ballet, and I always wanted to be in front of people performing. And so when I was 8, I did my first play, and then it kind of went on from there.
Piper goes to Baby Ballet. I go to Baby Ballet classes. My first job, I know I did some commercial stuff, but I don't really remember that. My first real job was this short film for the Canadian Film Centre, and that was about me as a little kid seeing my father as a zombie, and then I eventually become a zombie too, so I can join him. It was
cool.
It was artsy.
My first job, I did some plays when I was younger, and then I went into commercials and stuff, but my first job that I was actually really excited about was I was a mascot at a hockey game. I was the Kilty Bee, and I got paid $10 a game, and I used to hide in the elevator and take this big bee head off because it was so hot, and kids would open the elevator door, and I'd be trying to get the head back on so they couldn't see it was me. Good times.
It's a lot of fun, I think.
For sure.
We get to go to work and hang out and have fun and do a crazy show where we get to joke around all day, so I think we're pretty spoiled.
Yeah, definitely. It would be hard to go back to any other type of job after you get to do this all day long.
And my friends were laughing and trying to think of different possible jobs for me and how it would be funny, if I was a banker, I'm just sitting there being like, "Hi, what can I get you guys today?"
I don't think bakers say
bankers.
I think I'd probably be a teacher. Seems about right. You'd be something crazy.
Oh, I'd probably be a party planner, because I love my parties and they always have themes and everybody has to dress up, and then I would still get to have a job that's kind of fun.
It's a good plan. Well, for me, the hardest part, I'm not at all a morning person, so getting up at 6 a.m. every day, that's pretty difficult.
I walk in doing the hustle, I'm like, "Hey."
He is so energetic. Of course, he has, his jug of coffee with him, but he's skipping and dancing in, and I'm laying there.
Full, though.
I can't keep my eyes open. It's
got
rough.
Your blankie.
But at 3 a.m, this girl's awake.
She's a night owl. Yeah, I think one of the toughest parts is if I'm not busy all day long, when you have 2 scenes off and you've got a break, Ashley naps. She's great at napping. I can't nap. I just not a napper. And so I need something to keep me busy and do stuff. And so I avoid getting bored. I haven't been bored in 4 years. I made a vow that I would never be bored again. And so anytime I feel it coming, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something with my time.
That's a good plan.
Yeah. I don't like that word. I haven't said I'm
bored.
That word in years.
You're bored?
You can say it, whatever, but I know I'm not. I can't remember how many was the most takes I've ever done, but I can guarantee it's been a lot.
Mine, the worst thing that ever happened to me on set was we had just discovered Starbucks, and he bought me this big Frappuccino. And so I slurped this thing back, and I had never had coffee before, and it was summer, and I was all jittery, and I couldn't control myself from shaking. And so I had to come down the stairs, look at one thing, and go, "Where are they?" All I had to do. And so I'm sitting at the top of the stairs, shaking, sweating. Everyone's like, "What's wrong with her?" I'm like, "I'm fine." So I jitter down the stairs, and I pick it up. My hands are shaking. I don't know what happened. That coffee hit me in the wrong way. So that took me a good 12 tries to get that.
I should have told her to go easy. I know Shadia once got to 31. Shadia once got to 31 on Blake Halsey, saying technical stuff.
Oh, wow.
Our general routine is that we wake up before the sun's up, and we get to set looking haggard, and they put us through the beautification process, where they put on our hair and makeup, and then right in the middle of that, we go for our first blocking of the day. And blocking is?
Blocking's when you go in with the first scene and they'll, say the scene's in the living room. We go in the living room, we do what we would do in the scene. The camera maps their position as where they want to be. Then they light it while we go and get finished doing our hair, makeup, and wardrobe.
And then we come back and do rehearsals with the camera actually doing the stuff. Director gives us some notes, and then bang, let's film the thing. And then we just do it for real.
And we do that all day long until
And we
it's
do
dark.
that for each scene. And, craziness ensues. It's quite wild. We do a season pretty quick. We do it in about 2 months. We'll take a season because we shoot 2 episodes over 5 days, all intermingled into each other.
Which in TV world is very, 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 very fast.
We're speedy. There's this episode where we enter a dance competition, and they were trying to justify a way to get Derek to dance. And so we came up with this kind of scene where it would make sense for me to dance. We can't give it all away, but basically we went, look, this is what you guys should do.
And yeah, he came over the night before and we kind of made up this whole dance and the theme went with it, and it was really cool. We had a big say in what happened.
That's great. It's fun when they listen to us. I always get this question and I can never think of it because I think I block out the most embarrassing moments on set. Can you think of my most embarrassing?
Your most embarrassing moment.
Please don't hurt me.
Man, it's so hard to think. There's so many.
I mean,
So
just
many
watch the
times.
show and you can see my most embarrassing moments.
There's a lot of times that he'll, run and do a big jump and kind of fall over some stuff, and
Yeah.
that's usually pretty funny.
There was the time we crashed the forklift. I guess I crashed the forklift.
But okay, this is
I found a forklift in a back hallway and someone foolishly left the keys in. And so I had it going, but they're hard to change the, drive into reverse, and so the forks kind of
and I'm
pin
on
the wall.
set and I hear this bam, and I was like,
On set baloney.
I was on
You
set.
were on the thing that shoots up.
This is the second time. The
Oh.
first time I heard it, I'm like, what is this? Mike has got to be somewhere. And he goes, come here. So we run back. There's the forklift. So I hop on the front of it. He's driving it around.
And then there's one of those things that you flick a switch and it goes, and it accordions up, and then Ashley turns it on and drops the remote thing, so it's going up, and she's like, the ceiling's coming. So I had to go and turn it off before, she got squashed. It was fun.
Don't try that at home.
Yeah, never tried
Not a
that at
good
home. We
idea.
were supervised by technicians.
What
Well-
is it like being famous, Michael?
Well, it means you get to have lots of fun, and you always have a shiny black phone hidden somewhere where we communicate with people.
Yep,
And
yep.
yeah, probably just with each other because no one actually really wants to talk to us. It's fun because you're feeling down and then somebody comes up and tells you that they love you and you've never met them before and you're like, oh, couldn't be so bad, could I?
Yeah, it's kind of a cool feeling when people are looking up to you, and to be somebody's role model, that's the coolest thing in the world.
Totally. Especially when my character is a role model. And then I go, be careful there, son. You don't want to really be mean to your sister like that.
We are stopped in the street actually quite a bit. It's kind of funny because those of you who know Mike, he likes, he has these really cool glasses that he wears. They're big and very cool. And his hair is longer, so someone will stop and be like, you're Casey. And he'll be standing there and
And they won't even notice
they
that
won't
it's
notice
me.
him. And I'm like, guys, that's Derek. And they're like,
Huh?
what? His hair is longer, blah, blah, blah. It's really cute.
I was walking down the street once and I hear this bam, bam, bam on the sidewalk behind me and they go, surprise! And I turn around and they go, I know you're Michael Cedar. And I was like, not really a surprise. I've been Michael Cedar all my life. And then they were like, oh, right. And I was like, how are you? Like, oh, good. And I threw them off and I wasn't trying to be mean. I just thought it was funny. And then we walked for a bit together.
Nice. It also has some kind of different moments. We were at a play once, and I guess there's a lot of kids there who obviously knew the show, so they were all really excited. So I ran into the bathroom, And so I'm in the bathroom and I hear this girl beside me going, "Oh my gosh, did you see Ashley? She plays Casey on Life with Derek. She's here. Man, she looks so much dowdier on the show." And I'm like, sitting here listening to her. So she's out washing her hands and I kind of come out and her face just dropped. She was like, so I came out and I was like, "Mikey, I'm dowdy."
Daddy Ash, how are you? Yeah, and that same time I was in the washroom and I came out from washing my hands and it was only paper towels, so I just dried on my hands, on my pants. So my hands were damp and then people were like, "Can we get pictures with you and an autograph?" As I'm walking out of the washroom, I was like, "I just washed my hands, I swear, nice to meet you. I'm not gross." I mostly just still hang out with the same friends that I hung out with before I was doing TV stuff, and so just kind of the same old, same old. Just a dude who wants to hang out in a coffee shop.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think fame will really change you unless you let it turn you into something you're not. And that's not going to happen to us.
Yeah. My karaoke song is "I'm Moving Out" by Billy Joel, and there are dance moves, there are hats being thrown, and Colin Ramsey is my karaoke persona. He went to Mount Allison University. He lived in, I think, the Davis House. He has a whole story behind him. He's an heir as well. And I put on quite the show. I'm not saying I can sing very well, but I put on a show.
He can definitely sing. Mine's not so exciting. I just get up and sing, "Man, I feel like a woman." That's all I got.
I'd like to be an expert in like different fields of natural sciences. Like I want to be able to pick up a rock and be like, "This is 35 million years old. It came from the West Indies, and that is iguana poop on it. It's iguana goanna on it." And I think stuff like that would be really cool, like plants and knowing all that stuff.
Nice. I'd like to be an expert on random facts because sometimes I Google random facts and I look at them when I'm on set and I get really excited about them and then I'll go on set and tell people about them. So I just like them to just naturally flow in my head all the time.
Facts tells me random facts all the time. But I would like to say about wanting to become an expert in natural sciences is remember that, those of you in school, because I took grade 10 computers in grade 12 so I could avoid taking a grade 11 science, and now I wish I'd actually taken it and learned that stuff.
You can always go back.
To high school?
Yeah, you can get online high school courses.
Oh, like online. I was like, actually go back to school? I don't think that would work so well.
You'd be the Van Wilder of high school.
Oh, man. Yes, we do have pets. These are our dogs. This is Angus McDuff Cedar.
And this is Rambo Margaret Ann Leggat.
It's Rambo. Oh, there's your buddy. There's your buddy. Angus, do you want to talk for people? Do it. He usually does these funny sounds, but now he doesn't want to. Ugh.
We were a little apprehensive of putting them together at first because Rambo's so small and Angus is very energetic.
He likes to play.
But
like his dad.
Once we put them together, it was good because Rambo really likes to play, and if he gets too scared, he just lays on his back and they just play like that.
See, so dude.
And there he goes.
He wants to go explore. And now you can hear the pitter patter of his feet.
Rambo's sad that his little boy's leaving.
That his buddy's gone. But they're good buds and hang out. And on season 3, people sometimes, as a joke, would let Angus into the studio, and he'd come running in the middle of blocking and stuff. And Ashley was once at ADR, and the production note of why she needed to fix the line said Angus. And you can hear him pitter-pattering all over the place. I don't know if my life's better. I don't have to live with Casey, so I don't have to be constantly annoyed by her, scheduling and antics. But, there's something to be said for living in a house filled with a big, busy family. I think that's kind of fun. You have that.
Yeah, pretty much my life at home is somewhat similar. I have a big family. There's 7 of us, so I like my real family. I love my Life with Derek family, but I I think my family's pretty cool. I have 4 brothers, and if I had to say who's more annoying, obviously I'm going to say my brothers are annoying because I don't think I'm annoying at all.
Well, see, I have one of each. I have the brother and I have the sister, and they're both quite a bit older than me. I think when we were growing up, it was always my brother who was more annoying because we were like constantly at each other's throats, and now we're just like buddies. And sometimes I find my sister a little bit annoying because, you know, she's like miss like moral code and you have to do this and be perfect about this, and I'm like, can't I just fudge it?
If I had a sister, I don't know how well we'd get along because if somebody was borrowing my clothes and taking my stuff all the time, I think I might get a little bit angry about it. So that would be a negative about having a sister, but a positive would be that she could be like my best friend and we'd, you know, have that sisterly bond.
She could like do your hair.
No, I'll do my own hair.
You can maybe do her hair.
Deal. But for brothers, a negative is that sometimes they, you know, they're a little rougher than girls usually play, so I had to get stuck in the hockey net sometimes and they just fire pucks at me and stuff. That wasn't fun. But the positive about them is they're very protective, and anytime I have a problem, I know that one of them will definitely be able to take care of it or help me through it.
I think one of the pluses of a brother is just like having a guy buddy that you can hang out with. But I think one of the negatives, I know for me, like growing up, was like, you know, he was really good at hockey and sports stuff, and I so could not do sports stuff, so I tried, but failed miserably when I helped the other team members up when they fell in hockey. And I think one of the upsides of having a sister is if you have girl problems, you can talk to her, you know, and she's totally in the know of what's going on and what it is. And then on the downside, she's a girl and she'll talk to you and be like, hey, you can't do that and you can't do this. I don't know if that made any sense. Like from a sisterly standpoint, because you go to her about girls, but then she'll also tell you how you're being bad about girls. Does that make any sense?
I feel ya.
All right. Well, at least you do, you know? Somebody does. If Casey was my sister, would I be annoyed? Well, like, I think I would be, because it's difficult when somebody is like, you know, hounding you so much to do everything perfectly and by exactly how it's all supposed to play out, when you're kind of like, let's just see what happens.
She doesn't hound.
She hounds.
She does not hound.
She howls.
She doesn't howl.
She heckles.
She may heckle a little bit.
I would take Ashley as my sister in a minute. I mean, she pretty much is. When we were out in Newfoundland in season 1, we all kind of lived together like one great big family. So, I mean, it's not even a choice. She already is. And I'm glad for it.
Aww.